because we feel there are a lot of other gaps that needs to be filled and identified at the earliest time before now. But we are trying, and one of the issues, or maybe some of the issues that I can note them down, is we've realized that people are still misinformed. Taking an example, when you go to the ground and try to talk to the community, informing them of the processes that they need to follow, like others, they will say, we realize that maybe a women rep anafaa kupigiwa kura na wanawake peke yake. You know, that is the misinformation that is still there. Others, when IEBC had issued like this announcement about people to go and verify their votes, wanakwambia, we don't see the need to. We don't see the need to go and verify the votes. So we've already been voting all along. So ikifika siku ya polling day, utasikia mtu anasumbuka, akienda huku hayuko kura yake huko, then it ends up to have that voter apathy thing. Others again, they were saying like, Mimi, I already know that the country has chosen the leader. So there is no need for me to go and, you know, register for my vote. So there is more that needs to be done on the ground, that as civil society, we've partnered, and under the leadership of the Coast Civil Society Network, through the chair who is here, we've managed to do a lot to ensure that our people are well informed. And then we can say civic education is not adequate as we have required, or rather we had thought it will be. And this is mostly because of lack of resources, but then we need more of this. For example, right now we know many organizations work on observers, but are all observers speaking the same language? Are we all in the same picture? How can we ensure that what ILOG is doing is what HAKI Africa is going to do? They talk of having a center, as we call it a NAF center, they call it a different one, but we do a similar thing. So how do we ensure that whatever response they get, or updates, or report, is the same one that we will also get on the ground where we will be? How can we collaborate and network in terms of ensuring that we are all moving as a team? And then at the same time, as an organization, we have the IWA platform. IWA is early warning, early response, whereby we've created a WhatsApp group in different regions, engaging different people, so that many people can report any incitement, hate speech, likelihood of insecurity, chaos, and all these things, for purposes of ensuring that even when the report NCIC had issued about the hotspot areas ikitoka, we know which exactly area or point are we talking about. So that is something that we are working closely also with NCIC and the other stakeholders who are very key in this. And then we've set up a rapid response team. And this purely it is to respond to any emerging issues and see as how best can we collaborating and working as an intermediate between the community and the key stakeholders, like people in this group, or rather in this room. So let's take an example. If we feel that there is need for IEBC to train poll observers, then we approach the relevant officers and we request them that, look, we want our observers to be trained. And by the way, that is a real request. We require training from IEBC for our observers, so that we take them through the code of ethics and conducts. And then also we ensure that any oppression that we are seeing currently at the ground is addressed to an extent that we prevent any kind of violence during elections. We know how Mombasa is currently. I'm sure everyone here in the room knows. And that's unlikelihood of taking so much time to make a decision over some leaders who are having pending cases. It's bringing a lot of anxiety to the people on the ground. So as an organization also, our mandate is to ensure that kuna hiyo calmness on the ground, na to ensure that people understand where the problem is. But we also urge the government to speed up some of these rates, some of these processes and decisions. If we know that there's a decision to be made, ambayo hii ni ina interest ya public, please let us make sure that these decisions are made at the right time without causing any other harm that will come on the way. And then, as a civil society, you can say we feel that there are some candidates that should not be allowed to even advertise or declare their interest to vie, because otherwise we are not moving forward as a country. So kama tume ya uchaguzi ambayo iko huru inafaa kuangazia masuala kama haya. Ikiwa kuna tashwishi ya kiongozi wowote, inakuwa bora iwapo tunaangalia yale matakwa ya wanajamii na kuangalia pia interest ya community yetu before we put interest ya politicians ama viongozi mbele kuliko jamii, because after all they are there to serve us. And then last but not least is to see how best we can work together with media. You know, media are more or less like even human rights defenders, like the way we do, or rather like what we are. We consider ourselves as human rights defenders, but then there are issues of security, issues of accessibility are equally affecting civil society the same way they are affecting media. So how best can we also ensure the well-being and security of our media personnel? Because we know we've received a lot of complaints from our media on the ground. Wale ma freelancer, kwanza wale wanaojiita watu wa mkono, wale wana suffer a lot because wanafaa kulipwa, I hear from the story that they cover. So they have to go out there, out of their way to ensure that wameweza kucover ilweze. So how are we securing them? How can we work together to ensure wao ndo wanatuletea habari? And with that I can say we are here to work together and we appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. I think that is a very good presentation. Our colleagues, we will be having a press conference